Thanks for choosing to watch the video. Here in the UK we're coming to the end of our river fishing season, so I wanted to produce a video that celebrates our rivers and hopefully encourages more anglers to explore our amazing waterways. I want to do this because I've found this personally so rewarding, and I'd like other anglers to experience the same thing. Our rivers range from huge rivers like the Thames, the Severn and the Trent, right down to small tributaries and streams. They all contain a wonderful range of opportunities to the angler that's wanting to catch a whole range of fish. So we're going to reflect on my recent sessions, the season gone by and maybe further back too, as we celebrate our great British rivers. As we all know, our traditional river season starts on June the 16th, a date that sadly means nothing on most of our lakes across the UK. I say sadly because of fond memories as a lad when the close season did actually close all the lakes, and the build up to June the 16th was incredible. The anticipation having not been able to fish for a few months. Often during the close season we would visit lakes and watch the fish, which only increased the desire for June the 16th to come around. Well, on the river, that anticipation of June the 16th still exists, and it's still very much a thing, and long may it last. In summer the river looks incredible. The banks have transformed completely since we were here through the winter. The water is running clear and the banks are lush with colour. Gone are those freezing cold winter sessions, we've peeled off some layers and we're now enjoying some beautifully mild conditions. Just had a nice chub. I didn't have the GoPro on because I just fancied a bit of me time, you know. So decided to have a go with the Code Red boilies, and look at him, stunning chub. Usually, I use the drill pellets quite a lot, but I thought I'd have a go in this floodwater with the boilies. And yeah, lovely fish, he's a bit frisky, so I better get him back. But it's not all a bed of roses. Sometimes the banks are now so overgrown that access has become difficult. It's a time of year where we get bit, scratched, stung, we sweat and we break out in rashes as we sit in bushes hiding from our quarry. But let's be honest, this really is just another reason to love our rivers. They're less manicured, sometimes quite wild environments, and the fishing can be quite challenging but ultimately rewarding. I love fishing for barbel in the summer, and pound for pound they have to be one of the hardest fighting fish in the river. Come here. Yes. They really can punish you, especially on small rivers where it's complete and utter jungle warfare. And we've still got a couple of hours left, so let's see what dusk brings. They can be caught on a range of methods, from static bottom baits to roaming with rolling meat, and this year I've even been catching them on the float. For me, this river season was always going to be about exploration and adventuring onto new stretches. I was adamant that I wasn't going to tread in the same footsteps as I did in previous seasons. I fished lots of rivers and canals, including the Thames, the Lee, Stort, Ouse, the Kennet, Itching, the Test, Frome, the Grand Union Canal, the Colne, and probably some others that I've completely forgotten about. And what a great adventure it's been, catching fish from almost all of these. Okay. Oh my God. Oh I made a mess of that. What a nightmare, terrible bit of angling. Yeah, well, he's in the net. So, managed to get my first chub from the ooze on the first visit. And yeah, he's quite a chunky one. There we go, look. Fantastic. On the pellet hose, which have been doing really well for me on these sessions. And yeah, really nice to get one from a new venue. Like I say, especially on the first trip out here. A lovely river ooze chub. And if they're all like this, I'm going to look forward to fishing for these a little bit more, I think. And what an amazing species the chub is. A very accommodating species that provides you with sport right through the year. There on the ooze I was fishing for them with bait, but my favourite way to fish for them in the summer has to be with lures. Whoa, chub just walloped this crankbait. Oh, we've got flood water, so it's absolutely smacked it. Come on, come on, come on, get in. Oh, that was amazing. So I decided to move back a bit. Decided to put on the rattling hornet, get the crankbait on, and yeah, this cracker absolutely nailed it, he did. Unbelievable. So good to go home with something because it looked like a blank was on the cards. Got the crankbaits out and yeah, had this cracker. As the leaves start to turn and the air starts to cool, I look for another challenge. Sometimes in the height of summer, the river carp are spawning, so best to leave them to it. But as the air cools, I know it's time. So it's early morning, I'm down on the river, I'm fishing for the carp. So it took me a little while to get the rods out. I got here at about 5, half 5. The rods were definitely in the water and fishing by 6. I'm only going to fish to about 8:30, which is fairly standard for me. Yeah, I'm going to do 45 minutes in about 3 different spots. Look at the colour of him. Look at the colour. That is why we fish the river. Check out the colours. Just awesome. Look at him. Gorgeous. Black as your hat. Oh, lovely. Right, let's see if he wants to go back. I'm sure he does. Go on, fella. Love that. Hey. 22 pound from the lead. Happy days. Right, back he goes. I've also had some great winter sessions for carp on the river. I actually think that winter carping on the river makes a lot of sense. I don't think they go as dormant as lake fish. If you think about it, they are always fighting the current, which means they're expending energy. And if they're expending energy, then they need to feed. And then of course, they're much more catchable. So when your carp fishing is slow on the lakes, maybe you should take a look at the river. You might be surprised at your results. In autumn, the nights start to draw in, the temperatures are much more comfortable for the anglers and for the fish, and it's a great time to be on the bank. In complete contrast to the carp, it's also a nice time of year to trot with a stick float. I had many sessions in autumn catching a whole range of beautiful river fish. Trotting was a method that I wanted to perfect through winter, and these late autumn sessions saw me grow in confidence with the method. Lovely little chublet. Absolute proof you don't have to catch big fish to have fun fishing. It's a lovely roach. Stunning. Loving catching these little beauties. Look at it. I'm not sure there's a more beautiful fish. Metallic. Look. Imagine if that was £20. Persevered with a float. I've got a slightly better one. If I don't get a big one than that today, I'm quite happy. Get ready for the monster. Look at his gut. I can't remember how big these are supposed to be, but he looks quite big to me. Right. Release the beast. I remember the days when I hated winter. I was an angler that solely focused on stillwaters, and winter just seemed to be the kiss of death. I wasn't very mobile, and I would just sit there, freezing cold, desperately hoping that something would happen. Of course, the river has changed all that, and nowadays things couldn't be much more different. Winter is just an incredible time to be on the river. Yes, sometimes challenging, but the environment couldn't be more beautiful. You've got the hard frosts early morning and the beautiful fireball skies, and it's a time of year where, of course, those predators come out to play. A nice fat pike on a tiny little gonk. Pike are amazing creatures. I'm almost becoming a little bit concerned about my relationship with the pike, as I often catch them as a bycatch when I'm targeting perch. Hooked him 3 times and on the 3rd one got him in the net. Absolutely crazy. Slipping back and hopefully we'll find those perch. They're almost becoming like a bream to a carp angler that kind of fills me with sadness. So there we go, not what we're after. Took a liking to the squirrely. I will get him back. I think one winter I would really like to target them on the river, maybe with dead baits or large lures. Of course, winter is prime time to catch river perch. Big perch are an incredibly impressive fish indeed that have transformed my fishing for many years now. I haven't weighed it yet, but yes, length for the bloody landing net, look. I choose to target them with lures, and again I've travelled all over to search for these amazing fish. Winter is a beautiful time to be on the bank, but of course it's also a very challenging season as well. Must be mad. Oh, it's cold, it's raining. It feels like it's not going to happen today, and I've got one last chance tomorrow. It's cold, sometimes freezing cold. There's wind and there's rain, and then there's floods. Freezing cold coloured water that can make things almost impossible. But when things are challenging and you catch a good fish with the odds stacked against you, the feeling of reward is unlike anything else in angling. Soaking wet here, but absolutely don't care. It got a bit too dark for the GoPro, but yeah, we've had a bit of a result. There's a coarse fishing method that I touched on earlier that helps you enjoy the full range of river fish that comes into its own in winter. I'm referring to the method of trotting, and specifically with maggots. I've got a pint of maggots to use up, so I'm just going to go trotting, I think. I would go lure fishing, but the banks are too busy for me, what with it being sort of bank holiday weekend. So yeah, I'm just going to go and mess about with the specie stick, new centre pin that I got, and just see what I can get. Everything eats maggots, and balance your tackle properly and you can catch a full range of river fish. Morning, everywhere really busy. Everyone's out fishing. And just wanted something a bit more private. This place doesn't get any attention really. Lovely example of a roach. Another one. Loving this. Whee! That's fun, but I'm going to go and try another spot now, I think. Absolutely loving it. Another one. Oh, getting some nice ones now as well. But all is not quite as it seems. Why does it keep doing that? We've got a nightmare. But once I finished wrestling with the centre pin, I continued to enjoy my time on the river. Lovely. Ooh, there we are, look. What a lovely way to spend an hour or so on a winter's morning. Look, they follow me around. Lovely. But then one morning, this happened. Okay, got a better fish on, and I don't know what it is, but it is now stuck. Don't know what it is. Ah, balls. Right, so there are big fish down here. Bugger, just hooked something decent in this new area. I don't know it at all, this bit. I didn't know if there's half decent fish along here or not, and I've been catching a lot of small stuff as you've been seeing. Just hooked something decent, something pretty good. I don't know, chub or a barbel maybe, but it done me. The hook length wasn't strong enough. Yeah, I don't think I stood a chance there. Might have to have a rethink. So I went away, had a bit of a rethink, adjusted the tackle that I was using, and within a week I was back. I was catching fewer small fish because of the heavier line that I was using, but then at least I was ready if a better fish came along.
You dirty bastard. Oh God. Dirty bastard. Not this time, sunshine. Yes.
So I've managed to get even. I went away, made some changes, stepped up the hook length. Still got a small hook, size 14, because I'm using maggots. And yeah, I settled the score. What a stunning fish. And that was the beginning of a string of sessions that saw me land quite a few nice fish on the same method. Come out, come out, come out, come out. If we can get him. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! In the net. And from there on in, to be honest, there were some days where fishing maggots under a float was absolutely taking the river apart. Some sessions saw me catch plenty of chub just in a single session. Our winter has been a fairly typical winter this year, which has meant regular spells of rain and flooding. When rain has wrecked my local stretches of river, I don't cry about it. I jump in the car and head for some clearer waters, maybe chalk streams, and there's nowhere better for that than Hampshire. So I've driven all the way down to Hampshire on this beautiful river behind me. There's a whole range of fish in here for us to go at, beautiful river fish. I'm going to mainly be trotting maggots, but I have bought, last time I was here I caught some chub, so I have bought some cheese paste and some other bits and pieces, and we'll have a go at catching a chub as well, I think. But yeah, let's trot some maggots down the river, see what we catch. Tell me if you've ever seen a fish as beautiful as this little salmon parr. Stunning. Oh, a bit of a wriggler, so I better get him back. But what a beautiful, beautifully marked fish. Yeah, another beautiful river species, and that is the brown trout with their spots. Beautiful, beautiful river fish, and they fight like crazy, they really do. And there we are, look at him. No video would be complete without a little minnow, right?
arguably the most beautiful fish to swim in our rivers, the Grayling. Absolutely stunning. They're quite tricky to handle, these, so we're going to get him straight back. What a beautiful fish. So, as you've probably seen, we've had a range of stunning river fish. We have had little salmon parr, I've had some grayling, we've had trout. So yeah, really loving it. And you know, I'm gonna miss the river. I always feel a bit lost when it closes, and it's gonna close very soon. This could be my last session. I doubt it. I think I've got time to squeeze in another. Thanks for choosing to watch the video. If you enjoyed it, then please remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff. If you're someone that just fishes still waters, I hope you've seen something in the video that encourages you to try the river. You've seen the number of species that it holds. I think there's something there for everyone. But that is it. The river is now closed, but I'm not going to get too doom and gloom. On to the next chapter. The conditions at the moment have become quite mild, and if it stays this mild, hopefully the tench will be waking up soon. But until the next video, look after yourselves, enjoy your fishing and be lucky.